Zomazo.
Moonshine. Don't push me.
Zomazo.
Roadmaster. The capemiro. Don't call any before. I walk alone. Dr. G. Hallow. I may not know what when you are in. Oh, you got me a qualification. When we go in there are some ancestors. They died from antibiotics. And also some of them are not, when they come closer to us, they don't make us happy. We don't know they are so they're on the side. But they can be there. But they are also ancestors, but we don't want them to come here. Instead, we want them to take yours. Kableha. They say you are very inquisitive. That's what they say. That's okay. Yes, no, don't ask me. Don't worry. Ask questions. If you don't ask, I will do it. Because that appears in your oracle. Because when they say don't try to be inquisitive, it also sometimes maybe relationships and all these things look too much and then things don't go far the way you wanted them to go. Because we should allow people to make mistakes, give space to people. You can ask questions. Yo, me abe bukutu, sukutu, benye. Mama, Tian.
Andre Asana. Andrea Asana.
Austina. Obey your mama, Andrea Austina. You know what Jashi did.
My uncle Evans Austin.
Where he may of Anthony Uncle Evans Austin.
My grandmother's sister.
There is also a grandmother. And your mama, Benovi, grandmother, sister.
Elioma Asana.
Elioma Austina. Okay?
My grandmother Brunette Gregor.
Obey your mama, Brunette Gregory.
Grandfather Louis Adam.
Obey your mama. You talk big, Louis Adams, back on the actually. The Kuto Menefana, Yanak, but Bodu Nefana, Julian Austin, Bodu, the top
Grandfather Estefan Estalim.
Imam, talk big and no party, Estefan Estelin. We are going to the
Andre, my grandfather Andre Duperville.
I bet you talk big Andre Duperville.
Grandmother Pierre Alexis.
Your grand talk big Pierre Alexis.
And my uncle Pierre Duperville.
I bet you talk big and no party Pierre Duperville. Are they French people? Haitian French. Okay, that's right. Well, you know, the known and the unknown, the Haitians and everything from the Vivian family and all this. You have to tell you about what Jachi. Put over the family, I mean, I'm not going to find a Juliet. I'm a human on what you are. Okay. this year was a very good year. Let the year that is coming also be a better one than this year. This year was a very good year. Let the year that is coming also be a better one than this year. This year was a very good year. Let the year that is coming also be a better one than this year. This year was a very good year. Let the year that is coming also be a better one than this year. This year was a very good year. Let the year that is coming also be a better one than this year. This year was a very good year. Let the year that is coming also be a better one than this year. Mama Tian.
Andre Alsanat.
Andrea
Alsanat.
Austin. Obey your Mama Andrea Austin. You know what Jackie did.
My uncle Evans Austin.
Where he may offer Anthony Uncle Evans Austin.
My grandmother's sister.
There's also a grandmother. And your Mama Benozi, grandmother, sister.
Elioma Alsanat.
Elioma Austin. Okay?
Mother, grandmother Brunette Gregor.
Gregory.
Grandfather Adam.
Where your Mama you talk me Louis Adams back what you actually do. The Kuto Menefana you are not the Bodu Nefana Julian Austin go to the top like
Grandfather Estefan Essalim.
Imam talk me and no Pachi Estefan Estelin. You are going to the
Andre, my grandfather Andre Duperville.
You talk me Andre Duperville.
My grandmother Pierre Alexis.
Your talk me Pierre Alexis back what you actually do.
And my uncle Pierre Duperville.
Tombe and no Pachi Pierre du Vivier. Are they French people? Haitian French. Okay, that's right. Well, you know, the known and the unknown. The Haitians and everything from the Vivier family and all this. Yes. This year was a very good year. Let the year that is coming also be a better one than this year.
Let's do let me say me about I check over.
Section. We are about to start now, so everybody get ready with your questions and I'll try my best to answer them for you. Yeah. No, just food. Yes. Okay. Okay, you can now turn me live, put me in live so that we can pray and then. This light is too red. It is too, the color in the light is too red. It's too much magenta. It's too much, it looks too red. Right? So are we live? Or not yet? Okay. But if you are working on it, let me see it from here, then I know I am the one going to tell you whether it is okay or it's not okay. The monitor is awful.
Yes, it should come up.
Okay, it's a little bit okay, but it's kind of light. I don't know how that is coming. Some days it is much better than this one looks. No, it's not good. It's too much brightness. Yeah, this is much better. Yeah, okay. It looks much better. Yeah, okay. We'll start with this. Okay, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, wherever you may find yourself. And Merry Christmas to you all, everywhere that you are. Whether you celebrate Christmas or you don't celebrate Christmas, it has nothing to do with your spirituality. That kind of fast that people believe that if you are practicing African traditional spirituality, and that means you should not celebrate Christmas. African traditional spirituality is not a religion. I kept saying it. So you celebrating Christmas or not celebrating Christmas doesn't change anything and doesn't really stop you from being spiritual or being a real spiritualist if you're really dealing with spirits. Unless, of course, you are looking at African traditional spirituality as a religion and you think that you are a Christian or Christmas is for Christians and Salah is for Muslims, and so if you are practicing traditional spirituality and you are celebrating Christmas, then you are going against your ancestors. There's nothing like that. The truth about Christmas is end of year and leaves are falling off. Then we are waiting for a new beginning. So something has ended and a new thing is coming. So those of you who have always been saying, I don't know whether you celebrate Christmas or you don't celebrate, whether you are celebrating or you're not celebrating, if you are a real spiritualist, it does not affect anything. If you have real spirits that you are working with, Christmas or Salah or Deepawali or whatever you call it, does not spoil your spirituality. It only rather gives you more insight into it. Christmas is business and everybody is going. So long as you can go into a supermarket and buy food, even on ordinary days, when they are doing Christmas, it's the same. So please, stop deceiving yourself. If you don't know, let them teach you. We are very happy to be with you again this afternoon, and I'm going to pour libation. Today, the 26th of December 2021 is going to be our last year, 2021. We started from to African Magic Temple as a shrine in Ghana. We are also celebrating it. I've seen some videos of our yesterday's Christmas. We say whether we will call it Christmas party or whatever, but we had people who are at the shrine who have been helping and assisting, and I'm thanking them all. Yesterday I just took them out to at least to relax and have fun. Thank you everybody for joining us, and I'm saying hello to everybody in the clubhouse as well as what do you call it on YouTube. I'm also saying thank you for joining us. So I'm going to pour a simple libation. We are also getting to the end of our end of year rituals, so we have been quite busy all this time. So all this while we've been busy soboli sa mdogo moga kitikata mdogo moga se mdogo se joto amejoto se nano me se tie mo me wo mo na video ko evi o mo na evi me bia ndo ko video do ko evi bia no o yo se nya ko poliku no yo o yo she me ham for a show bete do ago o me yo se me for a show bete me dogo o me yo brax so zia dre me yo zia dre e o ta dre to be vino ko o ve so la kama yo do e me yo me no so dia ni bizo ka kazi boje dre me ya na family na boje na pe piro no do ho no yo ra ka kekele we nya ngba ma do fe la fo plan ngba ma do de ka fo plan ngba ma do de ka we nya bi na to ku e try to adjust the color a little bit. It's a little bit still not stable. Kind which all kind so kind throw all kind and kind if you okay man you are kind of kind paper remember how you do la couple of them if you tell something that you do that my young hog bab or can walk with me zango where play video pasta joma ku afaka mo be ku kwato for my job you here job no to ya mo you to and quite a quiver ni le bebe to ba jo tu zo pe bu no te pere ka jo pata be ile ya fi jo ba jo ni jo pata be jo pata o tro mo gbeda mo lo abi fa gbe li jo pata re na fi ya jo lo jo pata te fe me yo me se me gbo jide to be re nta pa pe lu ti zu bolu ajima o boju pe o do jo pe ko me ba re ti fa me va lo jo na tofu agosa pata me yo ati gari me yo guru du me yo la fia e me yo me ga se geja pasese se to be geje do ago me yo brahini me yo gbogbo chi me yo mgbe foli ko mo le fe gomo le do ku che kuma ko ma ga to bo ni me yo to ni ko spe ko ku ye no nya ko so ko foli ko geje to se nya mo si fusi jam ko so abra ko bra mama ni gbo be mbe to be na ko fu ko bia me sa dore pe gbe pe ku no e ku to me ne fana ni gbogbo ni na ande gbo ni fana mo yo ko ni celestia wa ku bia katrina ku bia fu na se ko ni fu na be na ku bia ku to me ne fana ni e ya me yo miasro o bwachi tatu pe ku yesi la pene kata me sa ku to me ne fana ni o ya wo no to ji bako to ji me yo kinkini asese pronchi de go bara so bara go na me yo la kete o me yo bako ada fli so fa hu an bo vi bako ku to me ne fana ni gbogbo mi ku to me ne fana mi togbe anani tu le jita togbe Abraham jivenu le chame akuto be fana mi gbogbo re me yo togbe kabi Simon Fiato togbe Fiato Simon kabi agoti me abenyo sida kuto be fana o agogo no fana mi jeno me yo tre video bra yin yoga je biki be be ta se be no para me yo dainga bo dainga do dainga ko mi da mani le zaman danya me sa do ma kele me yo rate eri di fa mi poto ye kele me poto sa mi poto mi viti me poto u da ba cha ba ba be mi wa da pe agara jino yo mi un buga ke Mine tome. Eme yo abuchi sakraka. No cho aba be adogo kotokoli no ko ku ma ko ngolo to ko le cho franta la ni ko sin kra ko fito jamba ku o cho to kofi o cho kra kable me yo mi o pete dagbe nka yo be no wale green. What are you doing? Eh? I think it's going and coming and this is not stable. It's like, is it the camera or what? Okay, anyway, me depend koto. Me yo fana go no fa go ma jeso. Professor koto me so le nda pa de me yo kwali ndo meji ku meji woli meji di meji lo so meji woli meji abla meji akla meji buda meji sa meji kamaji tripo meji tula meji lekte meji che meji fu meji wali che tula me yo kleba bi me ko to ba do bo me to ba de ni ade me ko ne di dagbe ji me yo mi ro umbu ka tre asine di do ne ba mi wo ago ne ni e po no ro mi le nu fi agbe ne mi fi agbe ko mo na musro yo bete am sa suma na kon mi bia enyanyo mi am yele dole mi na mi bala me se mi na me yo le esro di mo so ko no poso me yo video mo le bi no po vi am yo ji vi le furu na pota na ovio me yo le agbebe kaka mo no na mi abete lo yo gere pe me na gbe pe na ni na so se na mi asi do ne va mi wo gare no mi abasi me bi o pro mi asoro wo mo na gu na go agbe yo ame yo tell birthday du gbe me do happy birthday na mi do agbe sia yo. So we are going to start with the Facebook, and I think we have Bafira crew there. Say Ella Chelo Akpe, thank you very much. Then we have again Bafira crew match for Dagbe. Chetula. Okay, Akpe, thank you. And then we have our big sister Oluchi also, okay. Peace and love, Papa, and my regards to the family. Hello, big sister Oluchi. Thank you very much. Peace and love to you, and Merry Christmas. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you, big sister Oluchi. And we have Koku Agbe. Congratulations to all AMT team. Thank you very much, Koku Agbe, and congratulations to you too, to all of you who have been part of African Magic Temple. Then we have a big sister Ifadara. Say grand blessing, Papa and family. Thank you very much, big sister Ifadara. Grand blessings to you. May the ancestors continue to bless and guide you all too. Thank you very much. And then we have a big brother, a call Stone, saying lovely t-shirt, Papa. Yes, thank you very much. Yours is waiting for you. So please, when you get well, yours is waiting for you. Thank you very much for everything. I'm wishing you a quick recovery. Then we have Diamond Cash. He said blessings, Papa and AMT family. Thank you very much, Diamond Cash. How is everything? And a Merry Christmas to you and the family over there. We are very grateful that you join us. And then Alvin LeBron Hill Jr. is saying, Alafia, Papa. We are here. Thank you very much, Alvin and the family. My regards to all of you and Merry Christmas to you all. May this new year coming bring success, health, and prosperity into your lives. Then we have Ibu Ori. What is the name? Ib Ori. I'm interested to meet you. Thank you. Thank you. And then we have a big sister Oluchi. So okay, say thank you, same to you. Say thank you very much. And then we have Telly Marie. Telly, good afternoon, Baba. I pray you and the family are doing well. Yes, we are. And how are you doing? And Merry Christmas to you, Telly Marie. Telly, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. We are very grateful. Then we have Abulai Ayaoli. sending us Merry Christmas flowers, and thank you very much, Abulai, and thank you very much. We are very grateful to you, and then with the rose flower too, thank you very much. Then let's go on to what do you call it, to YouTube and see where we are. Let's see. Is that the beginning? Yes. We have an army fighter. Please, Papa, Voodoo can be used to change a person's mind. I think that was from last week, right? Yeah, Voodoo can be used to do a lot of changes in nature. Thank you very much. And then we have a Jigbezan, Toby Jigbezan Sisoka. Greetings and good day, Papa and AMT family. I hope you are all well. Thank you for all the great information and teachings you share. I hope your health is better, Papa. Bokor Christopher. Thank you very much, Toby Jigbezan and Nuledo, for you too. Yes, my health is improving. But we have a lot of hard time in front of us, and I pray and hope that I will be able to be strong to go through leading the team to do the end of year successfully. Thank you very much for your concern, and Merry Christmas to you. And then we have Mario Young saying, season greetings, Daddy and the AMT family. I see that your health has improved now. We thank God and thank you very much, and thank you for joining us, and Merry Christmas to all of you. But where is it, Nana? Is it gone out? Then Mario, thank you very much, and my regards to the family in India. Very and I'm wishing them Merry Christmas and season greetings. And then we have Scorpion Azaria saying good morning Scorpion, thank you very much for joining us. Then we have again Toby Jigbeza, can you share some of your process for the end of year rituals you do? No, I'm not going to share what I'm going to do. When I'm doing it, you will see. It's just I have my spirits and I'm saying thank you to them. It's not something I have to tell people what I'm going to do. When I do them, you will see them. That's my personal doing. You see, you can ask me a question. How have you done this? Or what is this that you have done? But I'm not going to share what I'm going to do. I'm just going to be doing, and when you see it and you ask me a question what it is, I will tell you. I'm not that kind of person who will preempt whatever I do, because that's my private and my personal thing. It's not for me to be telling people I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. No, I'm not that kind of priest. I'm very sorry to say. When I'm doing it, it will be shown, videos will be made of them, whatever I'm doing. Then people can ask me, what is it, what is that? No, in as much as I want to be on the social media to share my knowledge and wisdom of whatever I do or what I am doing, I'm not that kind of priest who is trying to tell people that, okay, I'm going to do a moonlight this dinner, so come, I'm going to do this. So no. Whatever I am doing at the shrine at the end of the year is my personal thing. I am thanking the spirits that have worked with me through the year, and that's what I'm doing. So whichever way I may do it, I myself, I don't even know yet. When the time comes, I'll take direction from the spirits and I'll go to it. And then when I am doing, definitely you will see what I am doing. So so just be on the lookout when the notification comes. When we are live, the notification will definitely come to all of you, and you can watch what we are doing. And then if during that time you are asking questions and I have the time, I can answer you what I'm doing. And maybe Senna and other people who may be around, if it's a very simple question, they will be able to answer the question. Thank you very much. And then we have Scorpio Israel. You are welcome, Bokor. If possible, I will recommend to get an UBS podcast mic for better voice audio. We have got enough, we've got a very powerful microphone here. And if you are the only one who is not hearing it, then say so. Other people are hearing. I'm very sorry. We have got enough. We've got the mic we've got here is a very powerful mic. So if you are not hearing it well, say that you cannot hear the audio well, then they will adjust the mic. But we have enough podcast microphone. But if you are having money and you want to buy and dash us, that's fine. But this service is free to all the world, so don't add more cost to what I am doing. Don't add me more cost to what I am doing than what I am already doing, please. Yes, I think we are done with that too. Are we?
Yes.
Okay, so now let's get on to Mr. Ibi Urise. How can I meet you? We are always there. Our telephone numbers are there. If you want consultation, please call the numbers. They will book an appointment for you. There's nothing more than that. If you book an appointment, I will definitely see you. I'm not that cheap and everybody just walk and see me anyhow. If you want to see me, telephone numbers are on the screen. Book an appointment. They will tell you when I will be free and you can see me. Yes, let's is that all? Yeah. Okay. So people on the Clubhouse, can you, is there anything that anybody, I don't know how many people are there, but please, if you have any question to ask me, please do, and let's go on to questions now.
Hello, Samuel Luku and Tare. Go ahead with your questions if you have any or reflections.
Okay, we've been, during the week we have been, okay, Nuku?
Hey, sorry, Papa, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance.
Thank you, and same to you and your whole household, everybody. Thank you.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, this is just a small question. Let's ask, like, what are totems? Like, the significance of totems and how do totems play in voodoo practice?
What is totem?
Yes, like the animals that families have and the restrictions on those animals and things like that.
I'm not very clear with the question.
Okay. I don't know how to put it.
Is the audio is the audio okay? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Yes. I'm not. Is it the totem or token?
Totem. Like I don't know. Like restrictions. Sometimes clans adopt particular animals.
You mean
that maybe they say they shouldn't
plant or adopt some animal?
No, yeah, clans. Or a tribe.
Okay.
Yes. And like members of the tribe are not supposed to eat that animal, or I don't know, maybe that plant or something like that.
Okay, I hear you. You are talking about like the taboos of a particular clan, that certain animals are taboo to them.
Yes.
Okay. Each and every clan or family has got a reason why they don't eat certain animals. But then, and also when you are initiated into Fa, your own destiny may also prevent you, or your what we call in Ewe Vodu could also prevent you from eating certain animals, and that means those animals you are kind of allergic to them, either on the physical plane or on the spiritual plane, and you eating them or associating with them so much may not give you the kind of progress you wanted. So they will tell you. So in certain clans of towns and villages or communities, they have this what do you call it, taboos. Say that you are not supposed to eat this animal or because the ancestors who had put that community together somehow had some experience with eating that animal and the reactions that they got, whether spiritually they were not able to achieve certain things or to achieve certain standard just because they were eating those animals, or sometimes may also be a body physical allergy. For instance, somebody who does not eat seafood, and if it is in their DNA, the allergy of eating the seafood or not eating seafood, they know. So if somebody on that bloodline in the future eats a seafood, the reaction that they will get becomes bad. So I think it's in our tradition we call it taboo, but then when you take it into science and in the Western tradition, it becomes what they call allergy, or you are allergic to something, either physically or maybe on the spiritual plane, you are allergic to it. That's what it probably is. So it may be boiled down to allergy, but then our people call it taboo because maybe that's how best they could explain it.
Okay, thank you, Papa.
Thank you, Nuku. Seiram, Said, tell Nana to come and sit down. He left? Okay, then put the this thing up, put the gate, lock the gate. The reason is that I don't want people to come into the house while I'm in section. Because when he came, so his spirits told him they are from Japan, and doesn't make sense. It looks like somebody's getting crazy. Honestly, because spirituality is real. It's not like imagination. Just you are imagining things and you think those are things that are happening. Then now that they say he should sit down, he should go back at his root, and those kind of things are not real in my shrine. To me, that's not the kind of spirituality I practice. I practice reality. I don't practice a kind of. Why can't we spirit tell you that you from Ghana? I say you are from Japan. From which part in Japan? Look, close my gate for me. Yeah, Nuku, I think did my answer make some sense?
Yes, Papa, it makes sense.
Okay, thank you. We are having some situation in the house. That's why some guy who said he had been here before and he came and looked totally different, and I was asking him question. He didn't call me or whatever. I saw he had been here, and then he reminded me. Then I remember who he is, but now he looks different. So now the spirits are telling him that he has to sit down, and now he has to go back to tradition, and also they have to go to the church, and the way he's mixing things up, that the spirits are telling him that they are from Japan. He was born here, but he is from Japan. So I don't know all these things. I don't know. I've not met that kind of spiritual spirits before, so I'm a little bit surprised. And these are the people, they come into the house and I'm busy here, they go and sit down at somewhere and take pictures and post on their Facebook pages and other things, and then people think that they are great spiritual people. I don't know. There's so much, will I call it scam going on? Yes, I would say so. So much scam going on in the world. I don't know which one is which one. Yes, let's go on to Scorpion Israel. Said on his question that I should get a proper UBS podcast microphone for better voice audio. We think we have the best already. So, but then if you think this is not good, then you should buy one and send to us. Then we have William Lawson. I have a cousin who has just been arrested He's currently in prison. Will there be a way to get him out of jail? What did he do before he's in prison? He has been arrested. What did he do? William Lawson, that's your question. Tell me what that person has done. Then I will know what you are talking about. Then we have XSB saying, hello, Bokor Christopher Voncujovi and AMT family. Say you look much better. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and wisdom blessings. Thank you very much, SB. Thank you all for your good wishes and prayers. I am getting better. Then we have William Lawson. He has not yet been tried, but he is involved in trafficking in illicit substances. I'm very sorry. I don't associate myself with people who are looking for quick money and trafficking in drugs. The reason is when you are trafficking in drugs and you give it to some other human being or you make money in your pocket, that's very good, but you are destroying the mind of the person who is taking the drug. That the person, if he or she get addicted, it's very difficult for them to come back to their own way and get to the nature's way. So I don't get involved into people who are dealing in drugs that destroy people's mind. I'm sorry to say what I am. I'm not that kind of spiritualist. Then we have Juliet A. Juliet, good afternoon, Bokor and AMT family. Glad to see you are better. Thank you. Glad and happy that I am here, and your prayers are helping me to get better. I'm very grateful to all of you. And we have on Facebook, we got Monty Tail from Taiwan, I think. Greetings to Papa and the viewers. Thank you very much, Monty. How are you? Thank you very much. We are very grateful, and Merry Christmas to you. We have a Telly say, I agree with this view of some taboos being expressed in the Western view as allergies. Our ancestors had a way of figuring these things out through their divination system before Western medicine, and it holds true for many people. Yes, that is very, very, very true, Telly, because that's the only way we can say it, that in the Western medicine or Western science and knowledge, they will call it allergy, and our ancestors call it taboo. Because at the end of the day, it brings some uncomfortability into your life. Physical as well as spiritual. Yes. Let's see, like that, this, and then see if there's any, and if there is none, then we know. Okay, we have William Lawson saying here, I understand and respect your position. Thank you very much for doing so. And then we have Scorpion Azrael again. I have a question. I have little knowledge of Voodoo. How can I pay respect to Voodoo, or the name I hear a lot while growing up, Papa Legba? It's a Scorpion Azrael. See, when you say there's nothing called Voodoo. When I say it that way, what I mean to say is that Voodoo means spirit. So there's nothing like, how can I pay respect to Voodoo? What Voodoo? I kept saying that African traditional spirituality is not a religion, like many people would have wanted us to believe. African traditional spirituality is not a religion like Christianity, where you are respecting Jesus Christ or respecting Mother Mary. African traditional spirituality is a practical thing and formula based. It is not based on faith. It's a formula based practice. It is not a faith based tradition. To pray to Baba Legba or Papa Legba, you don't have any information about Papa Legba. You have not been initiated into Fa. You have not had any initiation into any Voodoo. So how would praying to Papa Legba help you? Since our tradition is not a religion, praying to Papa Legba, I don't know how you get the benefits. However, if you do consultation, a spiritual consultation with a competent priest, and Papa Legba comes in your reading, and then the priest tells you that, okay, you need to do a sacrifice to Papa Legba to change your situation, the priest will be able to give you the guideline and tell you the kind of things that should be done, either by yourself or on your behalf. And if you are not a priest, then it has to be done on your behalf. But just by praying to Papa Legba without you having any connection with it, I don't see where you are going to get any benefit. Because our tradition is not a religion. It is not based on faith. Believing in Papa Legba will not change anything in your life. Unless they do something practically with Papa Legba or Baba Legba or whatever you call it, before you can see results. So you should start finding priests that you can do consultation, spiritual consultation with, and get some answers, practical answers, than having a faith-based mind, whereby Christianity or Islam and just believing. No. We don't believe in anything. We work things out practically and we see the results. It's not a belief base. Thank you, Azrael. Okay, so we don't have so many questions coming in. So please, those who are on Clubhouse and in the on Facebook and YouTube, please send questions, because I'm not having the energy like the other day. I will be closing very early today, but if I can get questions and the questions are interesting, then I'll continue trying to answer. But then just sitting down, I am losing energy. So please do ask me questions, please.
Okay, Papa.
Yeah.
Please, this is Senna. Given that this is our last Facebook live session before our 31st, can you please briefly tell us what we can expect this 31st ceremony? What maybe any time that people should arrive, or what they should bring, any clothing, any color they should wear, or anything that they should be prepared to if they want to participate in the upcoming ceremony.
Okay, thank you very much, Senna, for that question. I think the 31st, the end of year rituals have already started. We are doing some. We have changed the drinks and herbs for some of the Vodus. We've already killed their animals for them. But then there are a lot more to do. So on the day of the 31st itself, which will be on a Saturday. I think 31st is on Saturday, right?
Yes.
No,
no, it will be Friday.
Okay, 31st will be on Friday. But then the day of the New Year is on Saturday. So on the day itself, which is Friday, today is Sunday, we will be praying generally. We are thinking of finishing all the feeding to the Vodus before the 31st. And maybe the only Voodoo that we may feed on the 31st will be just few Vodus like Togo Jopata, in the sense that we want people who are having the Jopata bracelet, who may be physically here, bring their bracelet so that we can put it back into the Jopata pot and try to empower it again and then give it back to them. So people who are having Jopata, who may be here physically, should actually start arriving to the shrine from around 6 p.m. on the Friday. And clothing can be anything. You can choose to wear white. You can choose to wear any kind of clothing to come. It does not matter. And what I am expecting people who may want to join the ceremony is to bring a black candle, a packet of black candle. The reason we are using the black candle because the year that we are entering into is the year of the planet Saturn. The planet Saturn, spelled Saturn, Saturn. And Saturn is a black color planet, or the energy is black color. Mind you, the God who created the universe, as written in most of the religious books, was in darkness when he created light. So by saying so, naturally, God is in the dark, is in the unknown. It's in God is a hidden energy, and I may even say it's a dark force. When I say dark force, I'm not saying that it's a negative force, but it is in darkness that strength is. That's why God was in his dark form before he decided to create light. So light is never older than darkness. Never. A lot of people make that mistake by thinking light is older than darkness. No. It was in darkness that light came out of. So darkness is the base of energy. So the planet Saturn is a dark energy or black energy. So we'll be using black candles to light the night when we are doing our invocational of Kabbalistical invocation of Solomon. And if people can, with the one packet of black candle and one bottle of beef eater, this very beef eater that we accept at our shrine, if they can, it will be very helpful if they should come with one bottle of beef eater and one packet of black candles. It will be very helpful. But in case people do not have anything at all, don't have any money or whatever, people who wanted to come should come with clean heart, because we are going to make sure at the gate that we see that people who are coming in, they respect themselves. This time, we are not just going to accept anybody who just will walk in and come and disturb us or whatever. So people should dress in their best clothing, come early, and then those who have already been initiated should also come. If in case you have been handed any spirit, whether it's a Jokbata, Alajadu, or whatever, and the spirits that we work with, you can bring them. We will pray on them for you. You can take them back. So it's very simple, because I'm trying as much as possible not to stress myself. And then, of course, we also said that we were going to do the New Year reading, which is one bottle of beef eater dry gin, this one, and then 300 Ghana cedis instead of 400 Ghana cedis plus 2 bottles of the beefeater. We are doing a discounted reading, which will be 100 cedis, 300 Ghana cedis plus 1 bottle of beefeater, and that one will start after the midnight prayers of King Solomon, the Kabbalistical invocation of King Solomon. When we are done with that, then we can start doing reading for people, and that will be until the 5th of January, and then the readings will go back to normal, to no more be under the discount that we are offering. So I think that's all that I would say is there's going to be enough food, it's going to be enough drink for everybody. You are not coming to pay any money, so if you want to come with your clean heart and mind, and we will attend to you. We are celebrating and thanking our ancestors as well as spirits and voodoos that had worked with us throughout the year. They had been very good to us, even though it has not been easy. We are still alive, and we may be able to enter into the new year strongly and being alive. Thank you. There will be also some spiritual bath that will be prepared, powered spiritual bath, as we always do, that people will come and make their wish and take the bath in the middle of the Shemeham Forage and the seal that is going to be drawn, and people will make their wishes. I think in the past, even people who had been in spirituality in other traditions and whatever, who had come, most of them have benefited from this special bath. I prepare it once a year for people to bath, and we make themselves wishes that will definitely be granted during the new year. So send up, basically that's all that is going to be.
Thank you, Papa.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Papa.
Thank you. And then on Facebook, we have a Scorpion Azra. I say, thank you, Bokor. I will take your advice. Thank you very much, Scorpion Azra. And go to Facebook and let's see if we have somebody fronting there. I think we are all having cough. The weather is so dry. And then we have a Stack Blaze. Say, are Ori and Essay the same? I believe so. We can say the inner spirit that we came into the world, Essay, or Jogbese, and people call it Joto. Some other people call it Aklama. So the Ori, I'm not very sure, but I believe it may be the same. You have to find out whether Ori and Essay are the same. But I know about the Ewe one, that your inner self that you came into the world with is called Essay or Jogbese. If that is the same thing that it is in Yoruba as Ori, then it is the same. And we have a big sister, Ifa Dara, saying, Papa, is it okay to send our bracelet and ring via DHL for the ceremony? Yes, it's okay if you want me to empower it. If it comes here, for sure, we'll empower it and send it back to you. It's okay if you want to do so. But then we are only having today being Sunday up to the Friday, which will be the 31st. If they can come before the 31st and it will be in our hands, then it is worth it. In the sense that we are going to put it back into the port we're going to offer some animals to the Togbe Jopata, the deity itself, where all the bracelets will be inside the pot, and offer drinks and prayers to empower it. But another way is you can keep the bracelet there. You during the festival, from now onward, you can just give it drink, and that is fine. It does not necessarily mean you have to send it to me before it will be empowered. But once we start doing the ritual here at the shrine, the Jopata is an energy. It's not a physical thing such. But we use physical representation with the bracelet. So moment I empower the bracelet or the spirit Jopata itself, or the deity as it stands like a Voodoo here, our message to it is to empower all other bracelets in any part of the world. What I may ask you to do is, we may be live when we are doing the Jopata ritual on Facebook, YouTube, and on Clubhouse. So you can also hold your Jopata at that point. Hold your Jopata, and while I am praying, I will be sending energies through the psychic plane towards wherever and whoever is having those Jopata. And if you are lucky, or we are lucky, maybe you start to feel the vibration. It's also depending on who has come here physically to get the vibration, and those who have been having the vibration already. So that's another way. But if you want to send the bracelet to us through DHL, we are here to receive it, but it should come on time enough for us to put it into the pot before the prayer on the 31st. I will be doing the prayer on the 31st quite early. When I say quite early, usually we used to do it after midnight, but then there had been some changes with the new knowledge that we have acquired, that it is not very good to feed any spirit on the 1st of January, because 1st of January and 2nd of January are not very good days for spilling blood on spiritual things. So we will want to do it in the new year. That's why I'm saying I will be doing it quite early. So Big Sister Ifadara, if you want to send it, fine. If you don't, it doesn't matter. Once you give it drink and we pray here, it's okay. What best you can do is, and any other person can do, is probably you send us some token money to add to whatever we are having, to buy animal to give to the spirit. And I think Big Sister Ifadara, you had already sent us some money, so you are okay. We are all okay. Everybody is okay, whether you have sent money or not. You are okay. The spirit of Jopata is a universal energy. It is not limited to my shrine. But the only good thing is that I have it here and I can connect with it. But then when I connect it with it, it will be able to go all over the world anywhere, because not everybody can be here. And the spirits are, and it is not because you are not here, they are not going to be protecting you. They will continue protecting you and giving you energy. Thank you very much. What is happening to the videos? Don't we? I put enough data.
No, it's not. No, please, it's not the data. It's okay.
Because on the screen is loading and loading. That's why I'm asking.
As we have paused, so you need to refresh.
Okay.
Sorry.
I don't know. So big sister Ifadara is saying, okay, Papa, thank you. So thank you to big sister. I'm very grateful for your support, continuous support, and I'm praying and hoping that God willing and our ancestors willing, the Orishas and the Vodus that are guiding you will one day bring you to the shores of Ghana or the shores of Africa, whereby physically I can take care of you. Thank you very much. And then we have Abdul Rahman saying Happy Christmas. Thank you very much, Rahman. How are you? And Merry Christmas to you and your family. And then we have Jane Tiffany Mamisawa in the US, Akofu, the US, who is saying, we can see you, Papa. Thank you very much, Mamisawa. My greetings and Merry Christmas to you, everybody. May the gods and the ancestors continue strengthening you, and don't lose hope in anything. They are always behind you. Everything that happens for a reason. And because we are humans and we don't have the patience, that's why when things happen, we begin to get worried as if that's the end of the world for us. No, that is not the end of the world for us. So whatever is happening in everybody's life or in anybody's life, we should know that it has a reason. There's nothing that happens without a reason. It's only for us to have patience and wait, and before we can understand the reason why things happen the way they do. Thank you very much, Amisoa. Yes, Clubhouse.
The Shamba is trying to
so yes, and thank you, Mamisoa. Thank you very much. And Mamisoa is saying Merry Xmas, Papa. Thank you. Same to you and everybody.
Shamba, go ahead with your question, please. I didn't have a question now, but I was just saying greetings, Papa. I'm just now getting here.
Okay, Shamba, thank you very much for joining us, and Merry Christmas to you and your family, to your mom. I couldn't send her a message on the through the email and this thing yet, but extend my regards to her, to your father, and to your brother. Merry Christmas to you all. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yes, thank you, Papa.
Hello, yes. I have a question.
Yes, who is speaking, please?
Samuel, this is Samuel.
Samuel, yes, hello, Samuel. How are you? Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas. My question is, so yesterday, then I was explaining a little bit about how, in comparison to Christianity, Christianity is the new religion in comparison, well, not new religion, but it's new in comparison to African practices. So can you give them maybe an explanation of, maybe you don't know how long it has been in Africa, but just give us an example of, I don't know how to ask the question.
To know how old is
like,
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I had a presentation because the whole of yesterday I was busy doing something, so I didn't know exactly what Senna probably had said about Christianity in Africa or not. But I think Christianity in Africa, Islam predates Christianity. The Muslim or Islamic religion came to Africa first before Christianity, but then it came towards the northern side of Africa. It came through the northern part of Africa, and then I think even as far back as the Songhai Empire, where Mansa Musa, Marijata, all those people became Muslims, and it also was one of the reasons the first Ghana Empire broke, where some of the people from the Ghana Empire migrated towards the coast, which is where we have our current country called Ghana, and the Ashantis and other ethnic groups migrated because Islam was being forced on people who were doing traditional spirituality, doing their tradition. So a lot of them came down to the coastal side or the forest zone. And then not knowing later, Christianity also came from the south, where the Europeans came with boats and ships to come and pretend to come and trade with the people, and later enforce Christianity on them. And then it was through the Christianity that people were being convinced to believe that there is something better than their own tradition. And when they started believing in the colonizer, or even that time they were not colonizers, I would say the businessman that they were dealing with, then slave trade came into it. So Christianity in Africa might have come far back, long before slavery. So I'm not very sure, but it came after Islam. Christianity came after Islam. And it was most of the people in the forest zone of the West Africa today, the coastal areas, were actually escaping or migrating away from the northern part of Africa, coming towards the south because they wanted to avoid the force of Islam.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you. Check YouTube and let's see. I think we don't have any question there either. Okay, so
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Hey, I'm at this such a great room. I just wanted to ask what books would you recommend to, in order for one to understand African spirituality? And I wanted to say, every time that you guys host room, I always come in the middle of it. I was wondering if it is possible, sir, for room to be scheduled so that way we can set a reminder, so we don't miss any bit of it.
Okay, Adesewu, thank you very much for joining. Actually, our programs are all well scheduled. We always, people who like our pages and our channel, it is always scheduled that you will be given an alert before the program starts, because we start. But then on the, Clubhouse, I don't know whether there is any way that they have to give an alert. I'm not very much familiar with that, and we will have to talk with the moderator, Senna, about how to get the alert so that when I am on...
Yes, that's fine. We can do that.
So you have to give alert so people can be knowing when we are going to be on so they can prepare. But then, like Adesewu was saying, that means that it's always the program starts before they get to know, or maybe they're just looking on their phone and they see that we are on. It will not be the best way. But on YouTube and on Facebook, the alert is always immediately we start playing our videos. people are already alerted that we are about to start talking. And we usually play the videos from 15 minutes to 20 minutes, and sometimes like today for 30 minutes, because I did not come to the shrine on time because of yesterday's events. But then the videos started playing on time, so people knew that definitely I will be on. So those who had tuned in, they have already even sent in their greetings and everything before I came to start. So at this, I think Senna should put the alert button, or if there's any way to do that, because I'm not so much familiar with the clubhouse, how it operates. So, but then Senna has heard you, and we will do as you wish. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Great room, by the way. Thank you so much.
You're
Because
welcome.
it's very important that that we're educated, so that way we can then decide what we want. Because most of us, Christianity was forced because we grew up in a Christian or an Islam home.
Yeah.
But as time goes on and you start to read more, and you start to see, and you start to see that there's some, you start to ask questions and stuff, but those questions then, the answers are being given to us by the same people that manipulated the Bible. So you kind of would be very careful of what you believe then. So rooms like this, when you listen in rooms like this, you kind of, if you get the information direct from the source, that's what, if I'm allowed to say that. So that's why, and I was asking about the book just to read more on it, just to know, just to read on my own downtime and just meditate on it in a way. Because I think for me, I feel connected, because my granddad was a native doctor, and I feel connected to that side of my family, but I don't understand it.
Right.
And it's a situation that I want to understand in totality of what I want to put myself into, but I haven't seen or find a source that will teach me that. Because one thing, in Christianity or Islam or other, I'm not sure about the other religion, but there's a book that you read to understand in totality of what the religion is about. But with African spirituality, I find that I do not have that source, if that makes sense.
You're very right, Adesewu. That's very true. But unfortunately, the people who wrote books on Voodoo, or especially Voodoo, Orisha, I'm not very sure, but people who wrote books on Voodoo, some of them were not practitioners. They were writing purely from academic point of view, what they see the Voodoo people doing, that's how they write, or that's what they wrote about. But they themselves were not directly involved to know, to have the first-hand experience. So that's why I don't recommend any books to people when it comes to the practice of our tradition. Because the truth is that our tradition does not have books. The nature, observation of nature is the book of our tradition. And nature is what the reality is, and you cannot change it. When the sun rises from the east in the morning, it will rise up again tomorrow from the east, and it will rise up the day after tomorrow from the east. There is no way the sun is going to start rising up from the south, going towards the north, or going from the north towards the south. But as in religion and religious books, if you look very much and you read very much, you realize that most of the stories in these religious books were just fantasies and fairy tales that they have used in controlling people's minds in order to make them submissive to their rule. So in our tradition, the reality is that there is no book. The observation of nature and also learning directly from an experienced teacher who is not a scammer and who is not trying to deceive you is the right way. But then there is this book written by a Haitian who was also a medical doctor. I don't remember his name, but I had that book before, but somebody stole it from me and I cannot get it anymore. It's called Voodoo, the Quantum Leap. Voodoo, the Quantum Leap. And in that book, because he was a practitioner before writing, so he was able to put certain things down that made sense, which you can relate to. So Said, look for that book on the internet, Voodoo, the Quantum Leap, and then we will know who is the writer. Reginald Crossley. Yes, there is this Reginald Crossley. It's Quantum Leap, not link. Quantum Leap. L-E-A-P. Quantum Leap. Then you will see, and that book is a very much detailed story of a Voodoo practitioner and what Voodoo is. As I said the other day, Voodoo is like a quantum physics, and if you are practicing before you can understand, because without you connecting anything physically, you can still work things in far distance places, even on planets far away beyond your reach. But with your Voodoo knowledge and wisdom, you can reach places and bring changes. So I would only recommend this book for now because I have read that book and I can say that it's a book that I believe the writer was a practitioner, and I think he's from a Haitian background, of Haitian origin, the Voodoo, the Quantum Leap. So when you go onto the internet, I think it's quite an expensive book. It's over $200 or plus. They have the paperback and they have the hardcover. So, and I think you can also access it online. So please, Adesewu, try to look for that book, and then you can start reading from there, because it's really talking from a scientific point and from a physics point as well. So you can understand the connection of Voodoo. Is for other people, they think that just the images and the dancings and all this thing, that is all that it is. In Voodoo, the mind is where the power is. How to harmonize your mind with nature and be able to use it to get this is okay. Writing from a deep esoteric experience and understanding of Voodoo and Afrocentric gnosis. Regional Crossley also draws on Western. So get that book, Voodoo, the Quantum Leap. Yeah, if you get that book, I am sure you will get some basic things, and you can come back and ask me questions later, and I'll be able to clarify them for you, because I personally had read those books in the past.
Thank you so much, sir. Sana, I sent you a back channel because I'm looking for the book, but I couldn't find it. But if you can just send me the name properly, because I'm probably getting the spelling wrong. Thank you, sir.
Okay, you are welcome, Adeus. Thank you very much, Adesu. We are very grateful for that question.
This is Daniel again. I wanted to ask another question.
Hello, Samuel. Go ahead, please.
So I was curious. So today, you could study Islam in college. You could study Christianity, a lot of religions in college. Do you think there will ever come a time where we could study African in college?
Definitely.
Or do you think like
Samuel, you don't even have to end your question. definitely there's a time coming where people who really wanted to study this African tradition will have the opportunity to study. It may not be in the known universities of the world as it's known, but it will be at where people who had had personal and physical experiences with the African traditional practice, people who are not scammers, people who are also educated in the Western knowledge, in books of this thing and of higher learning, should be able to open centers and schools which may be private schools where people can come and learn about our tradition. But then until we will get the governments that will begin to look at the tradition of people and let them be as the tradition of the people without any Western influence or without trying to change the tradition of people to go alongside Western traditions as if a Western tradition were better than our tradition. And until then, when any government or governments can begin to allow people to be themselves without the influence of other people, then alone there may be the possibility that higher institutions will kind of inculcate traditions like Voodoo or Orisha studies into their university. But I believe that there are some universities in the US who are offering studies in Ifa and Orisha practices. I think there are some universities are there. And those of you who have knowledge on that, please show us this university so that we can make it public, and also then people can find out how to apply to learn. I think Voodoo as a subject is not, whether it is taught or not, maybe in Harvard, School of Trinity or something, theology. Senna, correct me.
Divinity School.
The School of Divinity. So, but then for you to be able to enter into that School of Divinity, you need to go through so many studies before getting there. But I think there is some knowledge or some teachings going on in the School of Divinity in Harvard. So on Voodoo and maybe also on Ifa. So Samuel, there will be a day where some institutions will be opened up, but then before the governments will even open that door, there are going to be so many private schools everywhere when people who practice the tradition are well versed in them and are willing to teach others. I think that is what our shrine is trying to stand for. That's why the revolution is the Voodoo education. So there surely will be a time where people who are really interested, not people who are just thinking of getting one power to go and do a fight and overcome a fight, or to get power and become rich, but then people who will have a total mind, wholesome feeling towards the tradition, to learn every aspect of it so that they can apply it in their own daily lives and in the lives of their loved ones, as well as in the lives of humanity as a whole. One reason why these things are not yet out there is because these things are very serious keys, and they are very serious traditions, in the sense that if it is in the wrong hand, it can be used for evil. Because Voodoo is like a knife. It can cut two ways, good and bad. It is in the hands of the person holding it, is the one who determines whether it should be used for evil or to be used for good. That's why one of our first short documentary films at Revolution was Like a Knife. So I am here, I'm willing to teach people, but I'm also not ready to teach people just because they come with money and say, teach me Voodoo. I need to know you. I need to know the kind of mindset you have before even opening up myself to teach. And this is how it has been all from generation, because of the danger that it can cause to society if it goes into the wrong hand. But definitely, days will be coming. There will be days that Voodoo will be applied on a very larger scale, and schools will be open to teach people. We are waiting for such time. Thank you very much, Samuel.
Thank you, Papa. That was so good, because I remember one of your teaching before where you were saying that what people don't realize are, if you are using Voodoo to send a negative energy, you're also leaving that door open for a negative energy to come back to you, and you don't have control of that energy that comes back.
Definitely.
So I'm so grateful for this room.
Thank you very much, Ade Sewu. We are very grateful that you asked that question, and Samuel also asked that question. We are very grateful for all of you. I hope my explanation makes some sense.
Yes, very much. Thank you.
Thank you too.
One question,
yes.
Papa. African spirituality, is there different types of it, or is it all in one entity? Like, for example, there is Shango, there's Olokun. This is the ones I know. There's Ogun, all this. I just want to, if you can elaborate a bit on those, and just to educate us on that part, because when we say African spirituality, the first thing that comes to us is the Voodoo, and or like the Shango, like it just if you can educate us on the different types of gods that are that just in that element. Sorry, I don't know if my question is clear.
It's clear
now.
It's very clear. I can understand what you want to know. You see, the African traditional spirituality is one, and at the same time, it is not one. Why is it one? Is that almost what all Africans from the very tip of the South Africa to the very north part of Africa and to the west and the eastern part of Africa, the tradition of respecting our ancestors is the same. It may be in different ethnic groups, in different styles and different ways of doing it, but it remains that people pay homage and pay respect to their ancestors. Just like how the Chinese, the Japanese, and people in the Pacific do. That is one set of tradition, even all the way down to Australia, where people pay homage to their dead ancestors. But what differs is that each particular ethnic group has got their own way of approaching divinity in their own language, in their own style, according to their tribal rules, taboos, and regulations. Take, for instance, the Shango and Olokun that you mentioned is coming from the Ifa tradition of the Yorubas. The base of that Olokun, Shango, Ogun, and all these things is coming from the Ifa tradition, where it is based in the Yoruba culture. So in that Yoruba culture, which is the Ifa tradition, or the origin of the Ifa tradition as far as we can know, it has so many gods and goddesses in that line. And then Shango and Olokun and Ogun are some of those gods in that Yoruba tradition of Ifa. Those same names, Shango, Ogun, and Olokun, in another tradition from not far away from the Yoruba, which is the Ewe and the Four people, they call it Voodoo. And then the name Shango in the Yoruba language, which means the god of thunder, it is called a So in the Voodoo language, or in the Ewe and for people language called So. A lot of time people are calling it Hebieso. The Hebieso is the same thing as Shango in the Yoruba Ifa tradition. And then you have the Olokun in the Orisha or the Yoruba tradition, which directly is referring to the river goddess or the mermaid goddess Olokun. And that Olokun, same spirit, in the Ewe and the Four language is called the Mami Wata. And then you are talking about the Ogun, as in the god Ogun, the god of iron. And then the same Ogun that is in the Yoruba tradition of Ifa, that same Ogun in the Ewe tradition of Voodoo is called Egu or Gu. So in reality, they are all the same, but because there are different ethnic groups that practice these things, they call it according to their own, in their own language and in their own understanding. But these are universal energies. And if you should go to India now and you should ask for what is the name of the god of thunder in Hindu practice, definitely there will be a name that they will give to you. And when you go to Japan or go to China, definitely they also have a name related to the that spirit or that energy of the thunder in their own languages. And they may call it in their language, and you will probably be thinking that because they call it a Hebieso or in Ewe, then it is totally different from Shango in the Yoruba tradition. It is not. It is the same energy, it is the same force, but then the way each ethnic group practices their practice, and also the name that they give to these energies according to their own language is the only thing that is different. Otherwise, everything is the same.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you too.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
That was so much knowledge. So, if I can ask you, sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm hogging the mic. It's just
no, go ahead.
The last time.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I wanted to know more about traveling. Is it time traveling or so traveling about India? Because I'm so curious how people do travel. They'll be here, the African way. Then they might be in Nigeria the next day. They saw the spirit is in another country. Maybe.
Hello, Barry. Please, can you speak a little bit louder? Your mouth is a little bit far from the mouthpiece. But then I got your question. In African traditional in African traditional spirituality, especially the one that I know and practice, which is Voodoo, we don't have anything like soul traveling. This soul traveling, most of the time, are coming from Asian traditional practices, where they say soul traveling. And a lot of people in the diaspora, especially in the diaspora, are so much engulfed with this soul traveling. In African traditional spirituality, like Ifa, Afa, and Voodoo, as the ones that I practice and know about, when you are initiated, especially into Afa and Ifa, your blueprint of your life is handed over to you through the spiritual initiation, and everybody will now know that in this life, this is what you are going to do, and this is how you should live your life. do's and don'ts, food that you should eat, food that you shouldn't should not eat. All will be given to you in the initiation. It depends on the oracle that you yourself you pick unknowingly during the initiation, because the energies, the Odus or Afadus, are all deities on their own. And when you are being initiated, these deities are going to tell your teacher, even your master, who you are before coming into the world and came here to do and what you should do. So there's nothing like soul traveling. Where do you travel to with your soul? If people want to soul travel, where do you want to go? People believe that when you travel and you go into astral traveling, as it is mentioned, and then you go there, then you go and acquire knowledge and then come back to the physical plane and play. These things don't really, it's on paper. You will not find more than 10 people in this whole world who can really astral travel and come back directly and tell you a real thing. It will be more of illusional stories than reality. And there are many of people who are doing such. People just create stories to make us think that they are so high in spirituality. Some people, even just by sleeping at night and having dreams, they wake up and say, I astral traveled. To where? You had dream. There are things we call dreams, and we call things astral traveling. But that astral traveling is more of stories than reality. When you are initiated into a proper tradition, in African tradition, you will be guided and everything will come, and you yourself, even before the initiation, things that have been happening to you from childhood will all appear in your oracle and will tell you that, oh, so all these things that I had been doing unknowingly, not knowing, this is what is my path in life, that's why I was doing them. Mind you, you have not even been in the things that you have done, the things that had happened on you. Now that you come to the realization that, hey, so these things that had been happening on me or happening that I had been doing in my life was not just by accident, but then it was all planned in my destiny. So in our African tradition, especially in Ifa, Afa, Voodoo, traveling thing does not really exist as such. And if anybody practicing African traditional spirituality and is telling you as far as Afa Voodoo is concerned, and is telling you that you are going to be having soul traveling, I don't think it yet. The person hasn't gotten it. Soul traveling most of the time is effected with people taking drugs, and then they are off from their normal senses, and then they come back and it's soul travel. Of course, when you are out of your normal sense, you can say whatever you are coming to say, but who was there with you? But these initiations, when they initiate you, the practicality of it is there, and people can even attest to what you had been doing long before you have been initiated into those traditions. And it will witness your happenings that had happened to you in life, and they can attest to it that, oh, then this is the path of your life really. That soul traveling thing is more of my brother, it doesn't exist. But maybe in other tradition, which is not Afa or probably not Voodoo, they have them. But me, I have not come up.
Yeah, appreciate.
Thank you.
But I think I still have another question.
You said?
I said, I really appreciate, but I still have another question.
Go ahead. That's why we are here.
Okay. So, what about this situation whereby, I don't know if you guys believe in it, in the sense that because I've seen in African way where a man is going to marry a woman and is going to go lock her up when, for example, she goes to have sex and they go talk together.
The gods. You mean the gods talk together?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you said the gods talk together.
Yeah.
Which gods are talking together?
This is what I say, like, what most men do is that they marry a woman, then go down to do some sacrifice, then if the lady goes to cheat, and she and the partner they're cheating with girls talk together. That usually confuse me because
in African traditional spirituality, whether it's Voodoo or Orisha or other things, Palo, people have keys to do with plants, nature, that they can use to prevent their spouses from cheating. But that there's no God talking anywhere. It is a knowledge that has been laid down by our ancestors with the experiences that they had with nature. They have laid down certain or they've given some informations, and people who are interested in doing that will follow such things. And I don't see where any gods are talking to listen. What people should know is that, excuse my language, the pussy that a woman had in between her leg, are you the owner of it? Or are you the one who created it for her? Whereby you think that because you are married to the woman, so the woman should be obedient and all this thing. They had not written anybody's name on it. It came naturally, just like the penis that men have. Nobody's name was written on it. It is a common agreement and understanding that two people want to live together. That's all that marriage is about. And if these two people are living together and there is a proper understanding and each one is satisfied with the other, I think very hardly that a woman will go and be cheating. I'm not talking about only having enough sex, but even other things will all come together to make marriage. It is not only sex that a man or a woman can have good sex, or you can make love to your partner very well so she does not. What about if you are not feeding her, you are not taking care of her, or she is not also providing the kind of care that you need? So I don't see it how people get so much into either, oh, my wife is cheating or my husband is cheating. Are you the one who made their organs, or your name was on it before they came into this world? Let's rethink about our traditional spirituality in a proper way. You should be able to do things that you can do for your spouse or your partner in such a way that your partner should not think of going anywhere behind you. And if after providing everything for your partner and your partner decides to go somewhere else, let her go. Find another partner. That's my way of looking at this spirituality. It's not a question of trying to put something on the woman, because that's what my father told me, that I should never ever do that. What about if you meet a woman somewhere you don't know and something happens on you? So long as you open the doors for evil to happen to somebody, you open the doors for yourself that evil will come to you too. Take this from me. Spirituality is not supposed to be used to harm people.
Because I have a friend. Okay.
Go ahead first.
I said because I have a friend, his wife or his girlfriend or his wife to be was messing up, and he went down to the village and he went to lock her up that no man should ever love her except him.
Is he providing for the girlfriend?
Yeah, he's doing it.
There must be something that the girl is lacking. There must be something that the woman is lacking, and your friend is not telling you. It's not a question of going to lock the woman that is the key. Find a good partner, and that's the key. Just find a good partner. Whoever is good with you is who you should be with. The same applies to women. When a woman can be with a man, and if she is not really satisfied with the things that the man does or is doing for her, why should she just stay? She just have to say it that, no, I'm not happy in this relationship, and they move on. I teach a different type of spirituality, and I'm teaching the reality of life as it is. There are women who you can leave them for years and months, they can still wait for you as a man. And also there are men whose women or wives may not be with them for months and years. The men will still maintain their faithfulness to their wives. But then there are also some women who cannot stay without sex for long. And there are also some men who cannot stay without sex for long. And if the two of you are of this opposite type, what do you expect? Supposing you are hungry and you are seeing food, but they say because you have to wait before they give the food to you to eat, and you are hungry, do you want to die before the food is served? Look at sex as another way of food. Because the truth about life is that the woman's vagina cannot eat anything than a man's penis. That's how it is. That's how God created it. Now you choose to starve, or you choose to overfeed, whatever. These things are real. So let us look at life from the real point, not what the fantasies. Because if you decide to use the voodoo to lock your wife because she shouldn't go anywhere, what about if you die away from her? Or something happens to you? Was she created for you alone? Barry, are you getting my question?
I'm not sure if he's not yet anymore.
So such kind of wickedness should not exist in traditional spirituality. Yes, people had those things done, and I have heard from people, I have even met people who had physical experiences of this, but that's not the way I teach. And if that's the way people want to come into traditional spirituality, then my school is not the best place for them.
This one, may I ask my question?
Yeah.
I'm not in control of the show. Papa,
yes.
I thought I want to ask a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Good morning, sir. My name is Esohe. I've been listening to you speak, and I'm very grateful to to Revolution for having this room. I wanted to take the opportunity to ask a couple of questions. Mm-hmm. So my first question to you is, can you talk about how the concept of free will is different in Voodoo compared to some of the other major Western religions?
Okay. Before I come to your question, I would want to finish what we were talking about, someone trying to put a voodoo on the wife, or something is cheating and somebody shouldn't cheat, and voodoo should catch who is cheating and all these things. And my father told me it should never be done, and I don't do such things for people. And
to be honest, that person who was asking that question, they never mentioned that voodoo was used. They just decided to ask you about it. I'm not sure why they did that.
No, he was saying that the friend went to a village to do that. That's what he was saying, against her girlfriend. But then If he did not have interest in it, he wouldn't have asked that question. Anyway.
Okay.
So your question of voodoo being used for compared to Western religions?
No. My question was about how is the concept of free will different in Voodoo than in some Western religions? Is there a difference? So what is that?
Definitely there's difference in the sense that Voodoo is not a religion. A lot of people are confusing the world and everybody as if Voodoo were a religion. Voodoo is a way of life of the people of Africa. Voodoo is a way of life of the people of West Africa, the Ewe people and the Four people. They call their spiritual practice Voodoo. In other African languages, there is other name, or there are other names for that what the Ewes call Voodoo in their own ethnic languages and in their own tribal languages. The Ewes and the Four people call it Voodoo. In the South Africa, maybe the Hosa. In the Kenya, where we have the Maasai, they may have their own words for it. But when it all boils to the same thing, traditional spirituality that deals with nature, so that you can be in harmony with nature. That which will give freedom to you to be able to live in peace with nature.
Okay.
So, in your life, because Voodoo is not a religion whereby everybody has to come around it before it works. One person in his village or in his room can have a Voodoo that works for him and all other people did not know. A spirit that is attending to him or working with him or her, whereby other people do not know. So it's a free will. And when the spirit that you are working with tells you that I do not like, let's take for instance, I do not like pork. So do not eat pork. Because when you are eating pork, I won't be able to work with you successfully. And then it is your choice. If you want to work with that spirit successfully and be able to attain the things you want to attain through the help of that spirit, you will stop eating pork. But if you decide that no, you want to eat pork, it's your free will. If you call the spirit and the spirit doesn't really attend to you and work with you as you would want it to work with you, it is your choice. So in Voodoo, there is nothing imposed on you. It is the energy you are going to deal with is the one who will tell you that, oh, don't do this, don't do that. If you do these kind of things, we cannot work together successfully. These are energies, universal energies in the universe, and people are able to tap them and then make use of them. If they tell you that when the rain is falling, don't be walking out in the rain because thunder may strike you. And we all know that during rain, lightning and thunder sometimes strikes. And if a Voodoo or a reading tells you, do not walk in the rain because thunder may strike you, and you refuse to listen and you walk in the rain and thunder strikes you, it's your own choice. So that point of free will or no free will, in Voodoo you have your free will to do what you want to do, but everything you do in life has its consequences. That's what nature has made them. If they say you should eat through your mouth and you decide to push the food through your nose, If it chokes you, it's your making, because nature, people eat through their mouth.
Yeah.
So
thank you for that answer. It's really very enlightening. And as you were talking, I was thinking of various Bible passages in Christianity or things that I've heard in Islam, and I see that the nature of free will is very different.
yeah, that is why those things are religious. That is why they are religion. It is a way to control people.
Yes.
It's a group of people who sat down to put things down and control other people. It is not nature who says is trying to control people. That's why religion is a man-made thing. It has nothing to do with God. It only has things to do with people who feel that they are superior to other people.
Yes. So now listening to you speak, I'm able to make connections that rather than a religion, Verdun is more like Confucianism, Hinduism, Buddhism, those types of spiritual practices in which there is almost or near total autonomy with the practitioner, and that they interact with their environment in ways that they see morally sound and morally fit.
Yes, even in Islam, in Hinduism too, because they have gods and goddesses and all this thing, and the Brahmin clan, the Brahmin, which is the the higher caste of the Hindus, are the people who had made some of these things down, and they becomes a religion that people have to follow those rules and regulations. In Voodoo, those things do not exist, because there is nobody who is the founder of Voodoo. We don't have any founder whereby you say that this is the hierarchy, and if you have to be here, you have to be here. This angel come before that angel. It is not in Voodoo. It is when you are dealing with the energy and the way it deals with you, that's how you adjust yourself and work with it.
Thank you so much. I have another couple of questions. So I heard you say something earlier that led me to ask this question.
Yes, go ahead.
You mentioned something about how when a person is working with us, when you are initiated, then there's a certain sort of blueprint of life that is presented to you through your new spiritual connection as an individual who is initiated.
Right.
And that when that happens, it shows that in this lifetime, this is how you will deal with, the spirits or so. So I wanted to ask, is there a such thing as reincarnation in the Verdun tradition?
Definitely there is a reincarnation in the Voodoo tradition as well as in the Afa tradition. That's why when you are initiated, certain people, when they are initiated, their progress on the spiritual path is faster than some others. It all depends on where you left off before coming back into this tradition again. And if you had been part of this tradition in the past, there is no way in this life that you will not find your way to it again. The timing will be the only difference. You may be brought up in a Christian home or in an Islamic home or in a Hindu home or whatever, but definitely your destiny will find you back to your path, and then you begin to understand life more better than before. In the past, many things may be confusions, but once you discover the path on which you were before living, it becomes clear and you will excel on that path. So there is no way you can be born by a Christian pastor or even by the Pope. If you had been part on this tradition before, there is no way you won't find your way back.
So then, in light of what you just said, I'm sorry. I wanted to ask. In light of what you just said, then, this is reminding me now of a concept in Buddhism because they have the concept of reincarnation. But what I wanted to ask is, in Verdun, it is the concept of reincarnation only refers to the spirit, right? It has nothing to do with the physical way that you appear, right? Because in Buddhism, when you are reincarnated, you reincarnate as something that is akin to your moral compass in your past life. So if you lived well according to a good moral compass in your past life, then you will reincarnate as a better and better and better staged human in your society. Whereas if you did poorly in your past life, you will reincarnate as a lower person or even as lowly animals. But what I'm gleaning from what you're saying is that in Verdun, it's the spirit that comes back. It doesn't have much to do with your body, like how you appear. Is that correct?
Yes, correct and not correct. In the sense that in Voodoo, when your spirit or your inner self or your essay, as we call it in Ewe, your destiny that guides your physical body into the physical world, comes with you. It has to decide where you should be born and who should be giving birth to you and the place that you should be born in. Like in the Buddhist concept and the Hindu concept of reincarnation, when you do good, you get a better life. When you do bad, then you come to the lower end. That is why it is advisable that when you are doing a spiritual practice in Voodoo, you should be responsible for the actions that you take. Well, we say it in our language that you cannot plant a corn and expect to reap a millet. When you plant corn, you reap corn. When you plant millet, you reap millet. So there is no way you plant a corn and be expecting that the fruits should become millet. There's no way. So when you do good comes back with you. When you do bad, bad comes with you. That's why it is advisable that you don't do evil or use the knife that has been given to you to destroy. Use it to create. So that when you are given another chance, because here is more like a classroom. This surface or this planet where we are is more like a learning place. When when we sleep at night and we have dreams, even though our physical bodies are on the bed, but we have other experiences in our mind. Our souls, our inner selves, the Atma, the essence is traveling to places. Sometimes you may even revisit places that you feel in your dream that you had been there before. Whilst your body is sleeping on your bed in your room. So when you wake up, sometimes you remember, sometimes you may not remember. So the process of life and death is like a sleep and waking up. So supposing in your dream you are traveling and visiting places and you don't wake back into the physical world, then that dream becomes your reality. So your body is now useless. They have to destroy it. But that doesn't mean that soul, that spirit, that Atma, that inner self, that Jogbese or Ese that has been traveling has been destroyed.
Okay, I see. Okay, so in light of what you're saying, I can now understand why the title of the book that you talked about earlier, which I recall was the quantum Voodoo, the quantum leap.
Yes.
I now understand why they titled the book that way.
Right.
Because if what is leading an individual is their destiny rather than their particular spirit, then destiny is something that is above an individual's particular spirit or particular will. In which case, it's much like physics. It's much like the laws of physics, or it's much like the rules of chemistry. That way,
right?
Okay.
So that is the word esse in Ewe language refers to destiny, and also it
the
also,
word what? What's the word?
Esse. Job esse refers to destiny or your inner self. At the same time, it refers to law and order.
And how do you spell that word? Is that E-S-E or is it E-F-E?
E-S-E. E as in elephant.
F as in...
E as in elephant, S as in soul, and E as in elephant. E-S-E.
Okay.
And that is the one that leads you. So if your life in this time that you are on the physical plane and you are not able to make a progress, and you choose to be on the side where you only do bad things, definitely the esse will be carrying a lot of baggage and burden. So for it to be able to reincarnate or come back or incarnate, what will happen is that it has to go to a physical place, come through some physical people where it has to pay for the actions that it has taken in the previous life.
Okay.
So
thank you very much.
In our tradition, people who were hypocrites, I have even witnessed one myself, and they were very religious people, and other people really praise them and they celebrate them. But underground, behind the scene, they were very evil people. When they died and they were buried, now their spirit came upon people that they shouldn't be buried the way they were buried, with respect. So what should be done? They asked for them to be exhumed and burned in fire so that their soul, their spirit can be free and find a way to come back and do something better. And I had witnessed some, and I had played part in some situation physically.
I see.
So it is your soul, your inner self, your atma, the esse is what is carrying every action that you are doing, which in Hindu term they say karma or sanskara, whatever you call it, is the one that you are overloaded, because whatever you do in your secrecy, whether anybody has seen you or not, your inner self has seen you. So it's the one that carries all those baggages, and it's the one that pays.
And it wouldn't just be the inner self that's seeing you. It would be also all those entities that are not bound by time or physicality, that can move freely between those things. They've also witnessed it, right?
Yes, those that can witness those unseen entities can also witness it. But then in your own personal form, at least you yourself, you have the record that you have done this. And that record is written in your atma, in your soul, in your inner self.
Okay. I have more questions, but I think I'll stop here in case somebody else wanted to go. But thank you so much for the answers that you've given so far.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for the question. Anybody else on Clubhouse?
I just want to say I can't thank you enough for the wisdom, the knowledge you're giving, and it's very important. I think what you keep emphasizing on is the fact that it's a double-edged sword. If you wish evil on someone, you're opening a door to get back to what you don't have control over.
That's very true.
And my question is, So to get into the are those to do
at this there's your line is breaking. Put the fan on this. I can where the line is breaking.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you
I was
now.
saying you can hear me now?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, in order to when I move fast, but when I used to fast, I would see things, and I don't fast for religious purposes. It's really just to see, because when in the Olokun, when I was born, my mom would take over my. When I do it's on and I'm walking best, it's almost like I'm not there. It's almost like I'm like a wind working. I just want you to tell me what are those things in order for you to get deep into the deep sense of it. How do you go about it?
Okay, Adesewu, thank you very much. That's very, very interesting what you said, the story. See, when your father gave birth to your mom, and he being a traditional priest, which people call native doctors, probably he could do the daughter and his generation. And then maybe as you are saying, and that one comes. So your was talking about what the Catholics are calling saints. Saints are human beings among other human beings. But due to work and they were in life, when they died, the Catholic Church canonized them. 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, the